How's it going, everybody? This is Jose from the Stock Market 101 channel, and I hope you guys are having a great day. And as always, please drop a like, subscribe, and if you haven't checked out my latest videos, I suggest you go check them out real quick. And let's get right to the video. So as you can see here, NIO is down 12% today, but still up a massive 56% this week since its IPO. And today I'm basically going to tell you my position on this company and whether or not if I'm going to purchase some shares of this, or if I'm just going to watch it, or if I'm going to swing trade or day trade this stock. So let's get right into some news first. China's NIO may be facing the same issues as Tesla according to analysts. They set a price target of $4.20 on NIO's American depositary receipts, which would represent a 56% downside to Thursday's price. The stock's going to drop a lot as it's already started dropping 12%. If they're putting a price target of it at $4.20. Familiar to those investors following Tesla, which NIO is seen a potential rival in China. NIO's cash burn potential inability to reach ambitious volume targets, said this analyst. See, the thing is, I don't understand why I know why they're comparing Tesla to NIO because they're both electric car companies. But the thing is that I believe that NIO doesn't need to compete directly with Tesla. I just feel like it just needs to take a little bit of its market share. Even though I believe Tesla's going to be the #1 player, NIO doesn't have to be right there. NIO can be the second, third, or fourth as long as it can potentially be a profitable company. It doesn't need to be competing right there with Tesla, if you know what I'm saying. Everyone's going to be comparing this company to Tesla since Tesla's so far ahead right now, and they actually are making cars and they're actually selling cars, while NIO's barely selling cars right now. Longer term, we question whether the premium EV segment will be big enough to support NIO's volume ambitions, the analyst says. They're projecting the company to sell 50,000 vehicles by 2020 and 160,000 vehicles by 2025. That's a lot of vehicles, especially since they just started ramping up production in their new cars. NIO plans to have 12 store locations by year end. That's a third of Tesla's, which sold 17,800 cars last year in China. Like I said, as long as NIO can become profitable, I think it will do just fine. But if they keep comparing it to Tesla, Tesla's going to basically take over the world with their cars. And it's going to be hard to compete with them since they're already so far ahead. This analyst also said that they expect NIO to tap capital markets in the next 12 to 18 months, as its costs are too high and its price points too low, they said. NIO's expenses are rising rapidly and the company likely will remain a loss-making one through 2025, they said. So, like I said, they're going to have 7 years basically before they become profitable, this analyst says. 7 years. And here's another article. China's Tesla IPO, 5 things to know about NIO. Entities affiliated with Chinese technology conglomerate Tencent Holding, they have a 15% stake in NIO. And those affiliated with investment powerhouse Hill House Capital, another 7.5%. And according to the company's prospects, the founder and chief executive Bin Li holds a 17% stake. Tencent is a big company in China. They believe in this company apparently, so they have a 15% stake in NIO, that's a pretty good sign. NIO first introduced a supercar, the EP9, in 2016, and launched its first volume-produced car, the ES8, in December 2017, with deliveries starting in June of this year. The basically only car they have right now is the ES8, because the supercar, the EP9, I think it costs like well over $1 million, and they only have a certain amount produced. And they started ramping production in the ES8 June this year. The ES8 is a 7-seater all-aluminum body electric SUV that the company boasts is cheaper in China than Tesla's Model X. Later we'll actually look at these cars in the company's website page. As of the end of July, NIO had delivered 481 ES8s and had unfulfilled reservations for more than 17,000 deposits. So there is a demand for this car, which is good, and they only delivered 481. as of the end of July, and it started in June, so they only made like 481 in about a month and a half or 2 months, depending when they started. NIO plans to launch its second vehicle, the ES6, by the end of 2018 and start deliveries in the first half of next year. The ES6 is a 5-seater high-performance premium electric SUV set at a lower price point than the ES8 to target a broader customer base. And also, the company is valued at $12 billion currently right now, and they don't have any revenue until this year. So that's super high valuation for a company that barely sold 400 cars. We have a negative cash flows from operation, have only recently started generating revenues, and have not been profitable, all of which may continue into the future. As the other analyst says, they believe they won't be profitable until 2025. So 7 years, 7 years from now. It's a long time. NIO began showing revenue this year, reporting 6.7 million in vehicle sales and 7 million in total revenue for the first 6 months of 2018, with net loss topped at 502 million. This company reported a net loss of 758.8 million for all of 2017. That's a big net loss, and they only made 7 million total revenue. Through June, NIO had burned through 549 million in cash to operate, compared with 691 million for all of 2017. Capital expenditures hit 163 million in the first 6 months of this year, compared with 168 million for all of last year. The company estimates that its capital expenditures for the next 3 years will reach about 1.8 billion. That includes money for improvements in installation of equipment and a plant in Shanghai, as well for research and development and the expansion of its sales and service network. It expects to incur about $600 million of that in the 12 months starting July 2018. So right now it's just burning through cash. So that's why it's going to take a long time for it to start becoming profitable. And the thing is, right now, with the tension between the US and China, that's going to be rough if NIO's going to make it through all of that. And we don't even know how long it's going to take for them to resolve their problems. That's going to be a big factor for me, at least, because as you can see, all the big Chinese companies such as Tencent and Alibaba, and there's a ton more, that they're basically all down massively this year just because of the tariffs that Donald Trump's been putting on them, and they've been hit hard. They have limited experience in making cars. As you can see here, we can not assure you that we'll be able to develop efficient, automated, cost-efficient manufacturing capabilities and processes, and reliable sources of component supplies that will enable us to meet the quality, price, engineering, design, and production standards, as well as the production volumes required to successfully mass market the ES8 and future vehicles. So that's a big thing right there. If they don't believe they'll be able to do it right now, then why should we believe in them, if you know what I mean? Another thing is that they have their suppliers. The ES8 uses more than 1,700 purchased parts, which NIO buys from more than 160 suppliers. Many of those are single source suppliers for these components, and the company is expecting that this will be similar for the ES6 and any other future vehicle it may produce. This is bad because, as you can see here, the supply chain exposes us to multiple potential sources of delivery failure or component shortages. And that's true, because imagine if any of one of these 160 suppliers, if one of them aren't able to produce for NIO, that's going to be a big problem, because then NIO's going to have to find another producer, or they're going to have to start making their own parts, and that's going to put more problems for them they already have. Its business could be affected by trade war, as I said. NIO said its business could be adversely affected by trade tariffs or other trade barriers, including US tariffs imposed in March on steel and aluminum, and additional tariffs targeting Chinese goods. Unusual and risky corporate structure. The risk with this setup is that the foreign investors don't actually own stock in the company, and local management or even the Chinese government could decide or force a split with the listed company, leaving US investors high and dry. That's super risky, because like it says, the Chinese government, they don't operate the same way that the US does. The Chinese government can basically do whatever they want. Here's another article. Here's the math to figure out how much the Tesla of China may be worth in the future. With the huge spike that happened in the past few days, those gains propelled NIO's valuation to $12 billion, with investors looking further into NIO's future and expecting the company to run Tesla's playbook in China. $12 billion is kind of a lot for a company that's barely had sold any cars and with huge debt basically and loss of revenue. And as you can see here, we're looking up Tesla right now. Tesla has a market cap of around 50 billion, so NIO's 1/4 the size of Tesla, and Tesla sold many more cars than NIO already. And Tesla's CEO Elon Musk said that the company is going to be profitable from now on. Well, NIO hasn't sold many cars at all, and they aren't expecting to be profitable for the next 6-7 years, potentially. But the research team says China could have 4 million electric vehicles in 2023, with NIO will likely grabbing around 13% of the total market share and 42% of mid and premium electric vehicles. And the Tesla of China's current 12 billion valuation could double by that time. So this is the bullish side of it, that if this company could perform exceptionally, that it could potentially double its evaluation from 12 billion to 24 billion in less than 5 years, which is that's pretty good. Let's actually look at NIO's website, and this is the EP9. This is the car that's selling for 1.2 million, or was selling for 1.2 million, and was limited to 16 units. I actually like this car. It looks pretty nice. Yeah, you can see it beat this lap record in 2017. Let's look at the other car, the ES8. This is the 7-seater high-performance electric SUV, and I was looking at the price point, and it's 448,000 Chinese yen, or $67,765 US, which is half the starting price of Tesla's Model X, which is $126,470 in China. And let's look at the company's profile. As you can see here, at NIO, we envision a future where improved smart electric car technologies coupled with a better car ownership experience will drive increased appreciation and adoption of smart electric cars, leading to a more sustainable future for the planet. It just wants to produce good-looking, comfortable cars that will help the environment for the long term, which is very nice. And for my position on NIO, I think that this company is a high-risk company right now, especially with what's going on in China and the US with the tariffs and the trade war. But this company does have super high potential to become double or triple even its market cap of 12 billion that it's evaluated right now, or was evaluated the other week, but now since it's dropped to 12%, could be the evaluation could be dropped a lot less. And will I be buying this company? I think I'm going to wait a little while, because in the beginning of the IPO, it's going to be super volatile, which you could be able to day trade, but it's super hard to predict where the company is going right now, at least. So it's going to be basically driven by news. But if I was to get into this company, it would probably be for the long term. Like it says, this company will probably be profitable in 5 to 7 years, which the analyst said. And that's a long time. So you would have to be in this company for the long term. And you would have to be okay with the company dropping 10% in a day, especially right now since it's IPO. And if I do pick up some shares, it probably won't even be that much. It probably will be like less than 3% of my total portfolio. It'll be more of a spec stock until I see how many cars they're producing and how much revenue they're bringing in. and if they're cutting their costs down. But other than that, I would probably just keep it on my watch list and keep reading up on news and changes in the company. Let me know if you guys are planning on buying this, or if you guys are gonna be swinging this company since it's super volatile right now, or if you plan on holding it for the long term. But other than that, guys, that's gonna be the end of the video. And as always, please drop a like, subscribe, turn post notifications on, and I'll see you guys in the next one.